Doctors ignored my brother's pain. I used his phone to save his life. My brother, Ben, can't speak, but I know him better than anyone. I know his smiles, his frowns, and for the past year, I knew he was in pain. It started with a low moan, a sound he'd never made before. At first, the doctors were reassuring. "It's probably just behavioral," Dr. Adams said, patting my arm. "Kids like Ben have their phases." But it wasn't a phase. The moaning got worse. He stopped sleeping. He started refusing his favorite foods. My life became a revolving door of clinics and specialists. The stakes were Ben's entire world, his comfort, his health, his happiness. He was my little brother, and I felt a desperate, terrifying responsibility to be his voice. Each doctor's visit was the same. They'd look at his chart, see nonverbal autism, and their minds would just shut down. "His baseline is probably just changing," one neurologist suggested. Another wanted to put him on heavy sedatives. They saw a diagnosis, not a person. They saw an anxious sister, not a credible witness. I felt like I was screaming into a void. I started documenting everything. I used my phone to record the sounds he was making at night. I took pictures of his untouched food. I kept a detailed log of his sleep patterns, his mood, every little thing that was different. The folder on my phone was labeled evidence. It felt like I was building a case, not trying to get medical care. The escalation was brutal. Ben lost 15 pounds. He was lethargic, his eyes were dull. He stopped wanting to watch his favorite movies. The light was going out of him, and every doctor we saw just shrugged, offering more pamphlets on managing difficult behaviors. I was losing my mind with fear and frustration. The turning point came late one night. I was on my laptop, frantically typing his symptoms into a search engine for the 100th time. But this time, I added the phrase misdiagnosed in nonverbal patients. A research paper popped up from a small medical journal. It described a rare neurological condition that caused intense cranial pressure. The symptoms matched perfectly: the specific type of moaning, the food refusal, the sleep disturbances. And the most common reason it was missed: the patients couldn't say, "My head hurts." I felt a jolt of adrenaline. This was it. I found a specialist in the next state who was one of the authors of the paper. It took 2 months to get an appointment. I drove us 6 hours. I walked into her office with my laptop and my phone. When Dr. Chen came in, she started with the usual questions. I let her finish. Then I said, "I'd like to show you something." I didn't editorialize, I didn't plead. I just opened the evidence folder and played the first video, a recording of Ben moaning and holding his head from 3 months ago. I played another of him refusing to eat. I showed her the weight chart I'd made. I didn't need to. Less than 2 minutes into the first video, she held up a hand. "Stop." She didn't look at me. She knelt down in front of Ben's wheelchair and gently tilted his chin. She looked at him with an intensity I hadn't seen from any other doctor. "How long," she asked me quietly, "has he had facial drooping on the left side?" It was so subtle I'd never even noticed it. It was the one thing everyone else had missed. I didn't have an answer. I just started crying. Silent, hot tears of pure, unadulterated relief. Someone finally saw him. The reaction was immediate. Dr. Chen didn't hesitate. She picked up her phone and ordered an immediate MRI with a specific contrast dye. She spoke with a calm urgency that validated every fear I'd had for the past year. She was seeing the emergency that I had been screaming about. After the surgery to relieve the pressure, he smiled for the first time in a year. I sent a copy of his new medical chart to every doctor who dismissed us.